In this video, we're going to take a look at AP automation, which is something that a lot of our clients have been interested in, and it definitely is a nice way to make your life a little bit easier if you are the person that has to do the data entry for your AP bills. So essentially what it does is it allows you to either email in or upload PDFs of AP bills, and the system will analyze them, read them, pull in the information from the PDF, and put it into a draft state in the system, which you then go ahead and take a look at, put in additional coding, make any changes that need to be made, and you post it. So it is continuously going to be learning from what you put in as well. So it's going to keep getting better and better over time. And this is something that does need to be enabled by your partner. So if you're interested in doing AP automation, you need to reach out to them. And there are different tiers of pricing. It does incur an extra charge. And the lowest tier for pricing is, I believe, 250 invoices per month. And then it goes up from there. So depending on how many you think you're going to be uploading or emailing in, then, reach out to your partner for pricing on that and to get it enabled. So once you have it enabled, then you're going to have an additional section in your configuration for accounts payable. So if I go to accounts payable, setup, and click into my configuration, I'll have a section down here for AP automation settings. So there's the upload. There isn't much configuration to this. There isn't any configuration that you have to do on your end. It's automatically done once it's turned on. But if you look at the email services configure button, it shows you the email address that you need to send those emails with PDFs to in order for Sage to read them, analyze them, and put them into a draft state in your system. So let's say if I wanted to send in bills to Timberline GC that came from my vendors, I would send them to this particular email address. These email addresses come from Sage. They cannot be changed. So I'm going to have to send it to this Timberline GC one if I wanted to go there. If I wanted to go to top level, here's where I would send it. You have the option then to do single line item that summarizes the total, or all line items and associated amounts, which is what I have. And most people probably would have all line items and associated amounts. So when you're emailing over bills, they are going to analyze in the background. And then once they've been analyzed by the system, they'll show up within Sage. If you do the upload, it shows up automatically. And I would imagine if you have, your vendor bills coming in through email, you would just set up forwarding for that. So let's go down to Timberline GC. I'm going to go to Accounts Payable and click into my bills. And the other thing that I'm going to see here now that I have AP automation enabled is this upload button up here, which is the way for me to upload those PDFs. It's an alternative to doing the email. So source here is, where it came from. If I click here, it's going to bring up all of the ones that have been uploaded into the system already. And then import exceptions is going to show you if there's an issue with any of the bills that have gone in. So they come in as a draft state, and then you would look at them and make any changes that you need to, and then post them through. So I'm going to do upload. I'm going to choose Timberline GC. I'm going to do all line items and associated amounts. And then I do have my folder open here, and I have a bill. I'm going to pop it in. I'm just going to drag it in, and I'm going to create bill. And then that's going to take some time to analyze. So if I refresh here, it's going to show me it's in a state of analyzing. So once it's been analyzed, then it's actually the same bill as this one. So I'm going to click into view this one for A1 Electric and show you what it did manage to pull in. So it pulled in the invoice number. It pulled in the correct vendor. It pulled in the amount, which was great. And like I said, it's going to be constantly learning from what you do in the system when you're working with these. So this is still analyzing. I'm just going to pause for a second and show you what actually did come in, because there was some changes that I had to make, and then it should give me an import exception that it is a duplicate because I'm after putting it in twice. So I'm just going to pause here, and then once it's been analyzed, show you what it looks like. Okay, so that took about 90 seconds in real time for that to analyze. And it is showing me import exception here of duplicate, which is exactly what I wanted to happen. So if I come in here and I hit edit, then I'll show you, I can see my PDF pops up here, which is great. And it's going to give me a little note to say why that exception was. So submitted bill duplicates an existing bill. So basically what I would do is I would just delete this one out, but just to show you what it did pull in, it managed to pull in the vendor correctly, the bill number. It put in the attachment for me, obviously, and then it gets the amounts right. It did pull in an additional line here for tax entry, but it's $0 amount just because there's a tax line on the invoice or on the bill. So I'm going to delete that out. And then what it didn't do is it didn't pull in the project. So that is some additional coding that I would have to put in. So I'd put in project cost, go cost type to this bill, and I would save that or submit that because I have approvals on. It's not posting, it's submitting. So because this bill is a duplicate, I can just delete that out, but I just wanted to show you what it did actually pull in. And then, you make your changes and then you post. So you have the option to email over or do uploads. It is going to give you a little error here. And then when you click into the actual bill, it's going to give you a line to say what the problem is. Like maybe vendor was missing and we just saw there that it told me it was a duplicate. So that's AP automation. And then if you're trying to track how many you've uploaded, you can do that easily by coming to the company module. And on the admin tab, you can go to subscription usage. And there's a tab here for automated transactions, and it'll show you how many you've done by month so that you're not going over your cap. So easy way to see that through company admin subscription usage, and you'll be able to see how many transactions you've created for the month. So like I said, it does need to be enabled. Reach out to your partner about getting some pricing on that and getting it turned on. And if you do have any questions, you can, of course, always reach out to us.